Okay, so you offer a free strategy session?
Yes, we do.
So what happens? I mean, I walk in going, help.
Yes.
Is that how it works?
Yes. Yes. A lot of times maybe you heard something about this or your neighbor's doing it and you want to know more. So you'll sign up for a free strategy session.
Okay.
And in this moment, I'm doing all of the strategy session. I enjoy it. I'm good at it. I can usually discern quickly on if you need to be referred out or if you need an attorney or if you need help or if it's going to be prohibited. So I love doing them. I do them personally in this moment. I can still handle them personally, yeah. And it's usually a half hour that you'll sign up that I'll reserve for you, and then you'll give me your situation, and I'll walk you through it. Or
so I should come prepared, going, all right, look, here's my IRA, here's what I have in it, here's what I can be putting in it.
That's typically.
And then I might go, and I'm thinking about investing in something like this.
Exactly.
That might be
That's
a start.
typically what happens.
Okay.
Or somebody could call and say, my uncle said I need to call you and talk to you. And so we can start from anything.
Okay.
But typically it's the situation that you described. We'll talk about it. We'll figure out what you have and what you're trying to accomplish. And then make sure it's not prohibited or going to be any kind of problem. And then we'll talk about how you open an account.
Okay.
And how you open an account is similar to how you would open with another broker. Name, address, beneficiary type information. Once we have that, it's just an application. Once we have that back, we open the account same day, and we'll get you an account number. When we have your account number, then we'll help you with the transfer process. A lot of our clients are having a rollover or a transfer. So let's say you have an orphan 401k from somewhere that you're no longer employed.
Okay.
So we'll work with them to figure out how they need it transferred. Sometimes they'll accept a fax from us. Sometimes you have to get on the phone and call. And if you have a deal in a couple days, we might need you to expedite the funds to come to us.
Okay.
So I like to tell people we're super fast. We can open the account same day. We can make investments same day. Some of the things that hold us up is receiving the funds from the other custodian. So as long as you and I are both on top of that, we'll pull the funds over. Now, let's say you have $1 million there and you're only going to do $100,000 in your buddy's company or your buddy's real estate. You don't have to liquidate your whole account. You just pull over what you want to the self-directed IRA.
Okay.
Once the funds are there, then you're ready to invest. Now remember, I said think of your IRA as a trust, and we act as the trustee. So we won't do anything without your permission in writing. So you'll go find your investment, and then we have a form. We have a form for everything. And you'll tell us, let's say it's real estate. You'll tell us, hey, iPlan, I want to buy this property on this date. Here's the title company. Here's the earnest money, or here's the here's the HUD one. Here's the amounts. Wire them to this, sign these documents. So we go to closing on behalf of your IRA. You don't go to closing.
Okay.
But you tell us exactly what you're buying and when.
And let me just to get specific, then how am I doing that? Is a platform, or am I talking to you, or how's it?
There's you could any way you want.
Okay.
You can call us and tell us.
All right.
We'll fill out the form for you, but we'll need your signature.
Sure.
Or there's an online form that says, I'm buying 123 Main Street on Friday. Here's the title company. Here's the amount. Like it's pretty simple. So then once we purchase the property on behalf of your IRA, we'll custody the deed. So the deed will be sent to us. We'll put it in our vault. And at that time, your investment has been made. And now it's all into the maintenance area where are we going to pay the water, the sewer, the gas? You'll let us know. Are we going to receive rental income? Are we going to pay the plumber? Are you fixing and flipping? So at that point, then we start the transaction. But we're your partner for everything.
I was going to say, so in that I can tell you, I want you guys handling all this. I'll handle this one check, whatever. It's, I don't.
And so if you get a bill from the utilities, you'll send that to us and say, please pay.
Okay.
If you get a bill from the plumber, you'll send it to us and please pay. So we'll take care of all of that. Now, let's say you come up with a buyer and you want to sell it. You'll arrange that. You'll do a purchase agreement with the buyer. You'll let us know. And then the IRA will send the deed. We'll release the mortgage. We'll sign the deed. We'll sign on behalf of your transaction.
You are the IRA, sort of, at that point.
Yeah, we're the bookkeeper. We're the bookkeeper for your IRA.
Yeah.
But you're always telling us what to do.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
IRA, do this, and IRA, yeah, okay.
Exactly. And so that's how you do it, and then you rinse and repeat.
So how do your fees work? How does your fee structure work?
This is a great question. So our fees are flat. So based on if you send us $100,000, we charge you $300. If you send us
based on the amount,
$500,000, we charge you $600 because usually there's more activity with the larger accounts. So we're flat fee. So all that, the water, the sewer, the gas, the plumber, all those checks that we're writing.
All that stuff you're doing is included in that?
It is.
That sounds pretty amazing.
Yes.
How do you make money off this?
Well, sometimes
you're supposed to be a good investor. What's going on here?
No, it'll be a little bit of volume because
sure.
you might have a little more transaction where someone else might have 4 transactions a year.
Yeah, sure.
So it works out, and honestly, we're kind of revisiting this because there are some heavy users and there are some users that aren't that transactional heavy. So
maybe
we're
a
trying
packages
to,
or something.
We're trying to find out a balance and also remain simple and not nickel and dime you for everything.
Yeah,
too.
no, it's good. Well, you can maybe use kind of like, well, for instance, Wix website builder, and how much junk you need is what you're going to pay. Do I need 50 blah, and I don't need that. You may just have something like that going.
So we're revisiting now as well. So
yeah, it seems pretty, for something that is somewhat. It seems complicated. Well, there is complications with doing a lot of stuff you do. You kind of take the complications away, I guess.
Yes, we try to hold your hand through the whole process.
It's yours, and I know what I'm paying, and that's kind of cool. And it's
and people,
no surprises.
This has only happened twice, but it happened this weekend. I had a gentleman who was looking into his account, and he was worried that something was missing, and he called me on my cell. I had another person call me on my cell about 8 years ago. I was at the movie theater, and it was Sunday night. He was like, I sent in this to do this investment, but I've changed my mind. Please stop it. Really? So I'm always available.
Last second.
But I'm always available. So people do call me on my cell sometimes, and or have a question. Maybe they're at an auction on Saturday and they need, hey, I want to do this in my IRA. What's the titling? Because if you think about the titling of your asset, it's not titled to you personally. It's titled to your IRA. So the IRA owns it. So sometimes they need a little help with that. But
is there any? In terms of then, okay, in case I get creamed by a bus and I've got to set things up with my will and stuff, it's just...
This is a great question. So as part of the application process, we're going to ask for your beneficiary.
Okay.
So could be your wife, it could be your children, it could be a third, or it could be a trust. If you put a beneficiary as your trust, we'll just need copies of the trust to have on file.
Okay, so it's
something
kind of the same
to you.
thing as
right.
working
Let's
with
talk about that a little bit further. So
Okay.
let's say you predecease your wife and your wife is your beneficiary on the IRA. So she'll send in the death certificate, and at that point, your IRA will go to an inherited IRA. So we'll open an account for her, we'll receive the funds, and then she can invest.
And that happens, that's part of the thing you guys take care of, and
we'll
that's...
help it, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, don't have to worry about getting creamed by a bus. What else? So I'm curious, when people come to you, do they generally know about a directed IRA? Did they generally know about this product and they're coming, are they kind of like, wow, this whole IRA thing, I didn't know? I'm curious, all the clients you have.
This is a great question. The majority of clients come in knowing an investment that they want to make, and they just want to make it in a tax deferred or tax-free environment.
Okay.
So a lot of them come to the table with that. Some of them just say, oh, I just heard about this at a seminar. It sounds amazing. I'm not sure what I want to do. This is the amount I have. I don't even know if I have enough. Let's talk about it. So we'll talk about that as well.
All right.
And then sometimes people will come and maybe they'll have a smaller amount, and they'll do maybe tax liens or tax deeds or wholesaling or some of those investments that require a little bit less barrier to entry as far as limit of what they're investing in. And then, some clients, hey, I want to invest in this fund. It's $250,000. I'm rolling this, and they already know and have an amount in mind. So
let's talk about. So obviously, working folks have got like this much, and they lot. What's the least amount? I mean, so people don't know that they don't have to be scared, or let them know the buy-in price.
I
basically,
think if I think about it, my first tax lien that I purchased was $1,200. So. I could use my IRA and loan you $50 if I wanted. So you could start really small. And some of the children accounts, they do start with $5,000. You could put $5,000 in or what have you. So some of them do start. And then, so what'll happen sometimes too is maybe I'll do an investment, and maybe it's $100,000, but I might pull in my son's IRA to pull him along with mine. So just like you and I can partner on something, the IRAs can partner too.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just a shared, like, okay, all right. I guess that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, what if there's a little girl who's like 5 years old who comes going, hey, listen, I need about $50 because I'm doing some strawberry picking. I want to start hiring my friends. You can work with that?
You absolutely could work with that, as long as it's not your daughter, because that would be a prohibited transaction.
Okay, that's the whole child labor thing.
If it was your niece, you could fund her business, absolutely.
But isn't child labor what kind of taught you how to do what you...
Yes, it did.
Those of us who did child labor.
And somehow I survived.
That's right.
I have this one story. So we grew up on a farm. I had two farms, both grandparents.
Yeah.
The one that I lived on was agricultural. So corn, wheat, oats, and
hay. Yeah.
And so we did a lot of alfalfa hay for racehorses type.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
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 And so I learned to drive tractor very young, where I couldn't even reach the clutch and the brake. So I was like 7, so I would hang on as a farmer. I'd hang onto the wheel and be off the
Have to
seat.
be going down good, like not seeing where you're going.
Or my dad would get us started because I was raking hay. He would get me started and then jump off the tractor and
it's
let
so
me go in circles for hours.
It's so funny. I literally I saw a video of, it was a little girl, and the whole video is like, this is how you raise a kid. And she's probably 5 years old, and her dad's behind her. She's in the field somewhere, and she can't see where she's going. And he's like, okay, honey, just turn to the left. And she's like, it's like, it was kind of great to see, but it was like, she drew easy over it. That's how you learn.
We would take a 1-ton flatbed and load it with 120 bales. Wow. And my father would strap it down, and us kids would stay on the top as he's delivering. and we would come to it, exactly, and we'd come to an overpass or an underpass.
Doc!
And he knew to slow down, and we would slide down the sides and hang on to the straps.
Oh, no kidding.
And then he'd
what a blast,
he'd slow down and we'd climb back up.
What was that, exciting as hell?
It sure was. I'm surprised we're still alive. But
we all wanted that. That was that's exciting. That's some fun stuff.
Yeah, that was fun. So I did learn some work ethic at an
I grew up in a rural area, but not on a farm, but we, that's just.
I'll tell you one other story.
So your one grandpa had agriculture and had meats and
produce. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was picking, and that's how I learned how to count money too, or make change too, because we would sell corn, peppers, zucchini. So we didn't have a cash register. We just had a fish and tackle box.
So you know what to do if something was, say, 75 cents and somebody gave you $1.20.
Exactly.
You understand what they were doing.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes. And the interesting thing back then is we would sell all the beautiful veggies, and so we would call them the second or the culls. And so a tomato with a spot in it, we would eat, or the ugly one.
Yeah.
And so now, these days, we pay extra for that organic, homegrown.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, but back then I was like, oh, I just want a pretty tomato. Why do I have to eat the half-rotten one? So interesting.
Wait, hey, so get back to the picking strawberries. How many of those did you cut off on the?
It took me many. I can eat strawberries now, but I didn't like strawberries.
Oh, you're kidding! Oh my God, that's like. Mm-hmm. My wife, we go to like the Red Wagon farm every year to pick. Oh, and it's like sweet. It's like
organics.
It's not even close to what. It's not even close
to the cardboard in the store.
Yeah, it's like I don't even want those anymore.